On April 15, 1912, at 11:40 p.m., the captain of the nearby ship captain saw a flare. He assumed it was fireworks. He only realized the next morning that it was a distress signal from the Titanic, which had hit an iceberg 4 hours earlier and sunk beneath the surface of the Atlantic with more than 2,500 people aboard. This is the story of the Titanic. Hello, everyone. Today we are going to explore the timeline of this legendary ship. As always, this video will be in 16:9 format. So please like and share after watching, and if you enjoy our videos, please click the bell to receive notifications. In the year 1900, the most powerful empires were still ruling. The United Kingdom's empire stretched across the globe. Its colonies accounted for nearly half of the Earth's total landmass, and the newly industrialized United States had risen to become the largest economy in the world. Across the Atlantic, the Ottoman, Austro-Hungarian and Russian empires stood in uneasy peace. But soon the calm would be shattered as the Balkans' powder keg would explode into the First World War. And so it was during these tumultuous times when mankind was at the dawn of its most significant advances and discoveries. Men were exploring the deepest parts of the oceans and traveling to the highest peaks of the mountains. They were conquering the poles and landing airplanes for the first time. It seemed as though nothing could stop humanity's relentless march forward. In this era of adventure, innovation, and expansion, two men named Bruce Ismay and Thomas Andrews dreamed of creating a masterpiece that would be the epitome of human ingenuity. They wanted to build a ship that would be the largest, fastest, and most luxurious vessel ever to sail the seas. They wanted to create something so magnificent that it would redefine the standards of excellence and push the boundaries of possibility. With sheer determination and unwavering commitment, they set out to make their dream a reality. After years of planning and preparation, the time had finally come. On May 31st, 1911, the Titanic was launched. It was a moment of pride and joy for everyone involved in its creation. As the massive ship glided into the water, the crowd erupted into cheers and applause. For many onlookers, it was a day they would never forget. And so on that day, the Titanic became more than just a ship. It became a symbol of human achievement and a testament to the power of dreams. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a floating city, a marvel of engineering and design. It featured first-class cabins with plush furnishings and dedicated stewards. Passengers could enjoy live music, gourmet dining, and a grand staircase fit for royalty. Even the lower decks featured comfortable cabins and access to modern conveniences, such as electric lighting and hot running water. It was no surprise that the Titanic was the epitome of luxury travel in the early 20th century. As the Titanic prepared to depart on its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York, excitement was palpable among the passengers and crew alike. Many saw the journey as an opportunity to experience the epitome of luxury travel, while others sought new beginnings in America. From wealthy industrialists to immigrants seeking a better life, the diverse passengers eagerly anticipated the adventure ahead. Similarly, the crew, predominantly drawn from Britain and Ireland, were eager to embark on their own adventures and contribute to the success of the ill-fated voyage. But beyond the opulence and excitement, there was a darker side to the Titanic's allure. Some passengers viewed the ship's size and grandeur as a symbol of man's hubris, believing it to be unsinkable. This mindset contributed to a sense of invincibility that ultimately proved fatal. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a microcosm of society, bringing together people from different backgrounds and walks of life. It was a place where the wealthy and powerful rubbed shoulders with those seeking a better life. The ship's sinking tragically highlighted the disparities of the time, with many of the lower-class passengers and crew perishing in the disaster. The Titanic was more than just a ship. It was a cultural icon whose legacy continues to captivate people around the world. From movies to books and museum exhibitions, the story of the Titanic has been immortalized in various forms of media. The disaster's impact on society and its enduring fascination with the human condition ensure that the Titanic will continue to be a prominent fixture in our collective imagination for generations to come. The Titanic was cutting through the icy waters of the North Atlantic with ease. The engines hummed smoothly, and the ship seemed invincible. However, beneath the surface, danger lurked. An iceberg the size of a small mountain suddenly emerged from the darkness, threatening to tear the ship apart. The Titanic collided with the iceberg and immediately began to fill with water. Chaos ensued as passengers and crew realized the gravity of the situation. Women and children were ushered into the lifeboats first, while others desperately tried to save their belongings. Life jackets were distributed, but there weren't enough for everyone. Many passengers refused to leave the ship, hoping to be rescued. Musicians played upbeat tunes to calm the passengers, but the reality of their fate was becoming increasingly clear. The Titanic was doomed. On that fateful night, the captain noticed several flares in the distance, but he assumed they were fireworks. In reality, they were SOS signals from the nearby ship. If the captain had realized the next morning that the flares were SOS signals, perhaps some lives could have been saved. The captain of the nearby ship was only a few miles away and could have easily rescued many of the Titanic's passengers and crew. However, he failed to recognize the significance of the flares and continued on his course, unaware of the tragedy unfolding just a few miles away. This near miss serves as a reminder of how a split-second decision can change the course of history. In 1911, a journalist predicted that the Titanic would end in bloodshed. Little did he know that his words would become a chilling prophecy. The Titanic was built with state-of-the-art technology, including watertight compartments and advanced navigation systems. These features were designed to ensure the ship's safety and prevent catastrophic damage in the event of a collision. However, despite these advancements, the Titanic's design ultimately proved to be insufficient to withstand the force of the iceberg. The ship's hull was severely damaged, causing it to flood and eventually sink. The tragedy of the Titanic serves as a reminder that even the most advanced technology and stringent safety measures cannot always prevent unforeseen disasters. The human element, such as operator error and unforeseen circumstances, can also play a significant role in the outcome of such incidents. The Titanic sank due to a combination of factors, including the captain's failure to recognize the danger of the iceberg, the ship's design flaws, and the lack of lifeboats. The captain's decision to continue sailing, despite the presence of icebergs in the area, contributed to the collision that caused the ship to sink. Additionally, the ship's design allowed water to spill over the compartments, causing the entire ship to flood. Finally, the lack of lifeboats meant that many passengers and crew members were left without a means of escape. On the fateful night of the disaster, the Titanic's crew spotted several icebergs in the area, but the captain chose to ignore the warnings and continued sailing. This decision proved fatal as the ship eventually struck an iceberg and began to sink. The captain's actions were influenced by a combination of factors, including the ship's reputation for being unsinkable, the pressure to maintain a strict schedule, and the complacency that can often set in during routine voyages. However, the captain's failure to take appropriate action ultimately led to the disaster. The aftermath of the sinking of the Titanic had far-reaching consequences. The disaster resulted in the loss of more than 1,500 lives and had a profound impact on the families and communities involved. The sinking of the Titanic led to significant changes in maritime safety regulations, including the establishment of the International Ice Patrol and the introduction of new safety measures for ships. The disaster also inspired numerous books, films, and works of art, cementing the Titanic's place in popular culture. In conclusion, the sinking of the Titanic was a catastrophic event that resulted in the loss of many lives and had a profound impact on maritime safety regulations and popular culture. The disaster was the result of a combination of factors, including the captain's failure to recognize the danger of the iceberg, the ship's design flaws, and the lack of lifeboats. The sinking of the Titanic serves as a reminder of the importance of safety measures and the human element in preventing disasters. Thomas Andrews, the man responsible for designing the Titanic, knew the ship was doomed once it hit the iceberg. He stayed on the ship until the end and went down with the Titanic, refusing to abandon his creation. His bravery and dedication were an integral part of the Titanic's legacy. And so it was that the Titanic met her fate. And although she may have been lost, her story lives on. Let us pay tribute to the brave souls who perished on that fateful night and honor the memory of those who survived. May her story serve as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Please subscribe for more videos like this.